Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Caught red-handed, Labour campaigner was caught on a doorbell cam sneakily stealing a Tory campaign leaflet from a voter's letterbox before replacing it with his own. This is, of course, the kind of tactic that we've come to expect from Labour, and this was George Elcock, who seems to be at least on friendly terms with Jeremy Corbyn, the big J-star himself. And it's the kind of bait and switch that we expect, of course, not giving people the full picture, just saying, well, hey, here's all the good points about us. You don't need to know about anybody else because we're not interested in speech, and especially not freedom of speech, and especially not disagreement. So, a Labour Party campaigner personally backed by Jeremy Corbyn has been caught on a doorbell camera sneakily stealing a Tory campaign leaflet from a letterbox and replacing it with one of his own. George Elcock was seen posting leaflets for Labour hopeful Laura McAlpine before finding a flyer for her Tory rival in Vicky Hughes' letterbox and appearing to pull it out, stuff it in his pocket and replace it with a Labour one. So, what did Vicky Hughes do? The furious homeowner 37 from Harlow in Essex chased the campaigner down the street after watching back the footage and claims he begged her to keep it a secret. Good on you. I mean, well done. Not the... Well, it's the hero we deserve, I suppose. Just getting out in her shorts, 37-year-old going, hey, what the hell are you doing? Running down the street as well to confront him. I mean, good on her. If more people were like this, then I'm sure we wouldn't have such a problem. Well done. It comes at the end of an election campaign dogged by accusations of dirty tricks levelled against all the main political parties. And of course, when the BBC reported on, oh, what about this fact-checking then? It's like, well, the Labour Party clearly hasn't put out any false information themselves. But it's been grassroots, there's had nothing to do with them. Let's ignore the fact that Jeremy Corbyn himself decides to retweet out this information, and let's just ignore that, because hey, it's the BBC as well, which is clearly impartial. That's why you've got to keep the licence fee, because it's their impartiality that everybody trusts. And here's the Twitter photo in question from Jeremy Corbyn. Great to meet stallholders and locals on Grey High Street with George Elcock, Labour's council candidate for Thurrock Labour. So yes, they have met before. He is a fan, as we can see down below with him in his Corbyn shirt. Looking more and more communist by the day. Well done, Corbyn. So, particularly in this seat, it's unlikely that Labour would get in anyway, but nonetheless, it's one of those things that you go, well, it is a crime to steal from somebody's letterbox, so let's not do this. And this is, of course, just one that's been caught doing it. I mean, how many other cases are there that haven't been caught doing? And it's such a shame, it seems, that then the English or the British culture has come to such a mistrusting side, that it used to be a very high-trust society, and now everybody needs to be getting some level of security for their homes, because things like this can happen. And it's not just people breaking in, but it's just that lack of trust and transparency that we've come to expect, I suppose, from all the major parties. But I would slide the Labour up the pole there, of course. I don't see the problem with being honest if you mean what you say. That you just say, yes, okay, we are Labour, we think we should own everything because we think we have a better view than everybody else. We don't think competition should be allowed, because that then might mean that somebody else has an idea which is more popular than ours, but we know best, and therefore we don't want you to have the freedom of choice because we make better decisions for you than you do. Therefore we should take more of your money so that we can pay for things, so that you have a much simpler life and you can just get on with it. That's fair enough. Or if they really wish to make it nice, just say, there are too many things to be worried about on a regular basis, therefore we want to make your life simpler so that you can focus on the things important to you. Therefore we'll make the most of the decisions for you. I mean, that's fair enough, instead of trying to hide it to say, oh no, we're just going to tax the highest earners, and then when they say they wouldn't set up business, then like the guy set up phones for you, and when he says, yeah, I wouldn't set up under a Labour government, especially not what you're proposing, and John McDonnell says, no, that's not true, you would. So, well, and I think these people know best. So, sure, you might have a better idea for most people, but in this instance, no, and just saying that you do doesn't prove it. And it does disprove the theory that you know what's best for people instead of those individuals. But nonetheless, I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt here. At least they could then be honest. So, the lady in question, who was stolen from, Mrs. Hughes, Vicky, she refused to say how she was going to vote, insisting that was between me and the ballot box, but suggested she wouldn't be opting for Labour. And we're back to the high trust here. She blamed that its campaigners moved cheap tactics and was an attempt to sway her to vote. Her vote, sorry. She said, the doorbell camera came up on my phone, and when I watched it, I was gobsmacked. I was absolutely horrified. I had to check twice. I saw him put his hand into my locked letterbox and take something. And, of course, when she caught up with him, he was saying, oh, it's just a Conservative leaflet, it doesn't mean anything. So, well, yes, but on principle, it's incredibly important, surely, that you think you have the right to people's property, but then again, this is Labour we're talking about. I suppose they do. And even going into their homes, yes, again, I suppose you do feel inclined to do that, don't you? If only this could all be done over the internet, which would be owned by Labour, that would definitely be more open and transparent, wouldn't it? But anyway, this just goes on to more of the same, essentially. So, as always, I'm intrigued to hear what you guys have to say below. Do you think there's more to it than this? How do you think this stands at as a wider principle? Do you think it's too late to change the votes? And of course, who will you be voting down below? I was tempted to say, oh, if you're in a particular area, vote this way if you intend to have Brexit to go, but I don't think this channel has nearly enough input for that to happen. But put simply, if the Brexit Party is available, vote Brexit Party, and if the Conservative Party is available, vote Conservative. That's it. So primarily vote Brexit, and then secondarily vote Conservative. That's pretty much it. And let's hope the Overton window shifts to the right, as the Conservatives have no principles and will just change to see where they can grab the power, and will hopefully move to be a Conservative Party once again. Until next time, have a wonderful end to the week. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, do let me know. Ever grateful. So until next time, have a good one.